the leader in talk radio on the Internet, right here on K98Talk.com.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. And then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-513-6154. That's 1-800-513-6154. Again, 1-800-513-6154. Call now.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-696-1030. Again, 800-696-1030. That's 800-696-1030. 800-696-1030.
All right, folks, this is Rick Robinson with you. I want to tell you about some friends of mine from a company called Security Enforcement Specialists. When I ran my security agency for 12 years, I worked with one of these partners on a daily basis. He's been involved in this agency now, and with his other partner, they do have over 30 years of experience in the private security industry. If you own a business and you need someone to keep you or your customers or residents safe, then I highly recommend contacting Security Enforcement Specialists today. Give them a call at 405-703-1796. Again, that's 405-703-1796. Again, tell them Rick from K98 Talk sent you. Like I said, if you need the help, they are here for you. So make sure that you go look them up, check them out, and see what they can do.
Wrong way. Welcome to the place.
Joe had huge problems with the IRS.
I knew it was coming. I hadn't filed taxes since 1990.
All the IRS letters coming in added up to a nightmare.
The guy got up to like $68,000. My heart started beating fast. It's like, there's no way, man. I mean, I ain't going to be able to do this.
Then they stopped his paycheck.
So that's when I started making phone calls and found U.S. Tax Shield.
U.S. Tax Shield went to work immediately.
They just took the bull by the horns. What blew my mind is he called the IRS right then and there.
So why is U.S. Tax Shield A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau? Joe knows.
They saved me a ridiculous amount of money.
If you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or state, choose the company Joe chose, U.S. Tax Shield.
It was the best decision I made. U.S. Tax Shield is the way to go. Life is good. Thank you, Lord.
Call 800-471-3287.
U.S. Tax Shield. Boo-rah. Yes.
800-471-3287. 800-471-3287.
The Internet will never be the same. You're listening to K98Talk.com.
Good God, y'all. What is it good for? Absolutely. Let's get started.
From the East Coast to the West Coast and around the world on the Internet, we're coming to you live from the CCRS studios. WNJC 1360. This is the Conservative Commandos radio show with your host, Rick Trader. The Conservative Commandos radio show, where the newsmakers go to be heard. Businessman there, drink my wine. You can call the Conservative Commandos radio show at 856-227-1360. Your opinion counts at 856-227-1360.
This is Congressman Alan West, and you're listening to the Conservative Commando radio show.
Welcome, everybody, and welcome, fellow patriots. Welcome once again to the Conservative Commandos radio show. I'm Rick Trader, coming to you from the studios of the Conservative Commandos radio network of WNJC 1360, our flagship station in Philadelphia, and around the world on the Internet with American Patriots Broadcasting, TalkStream Live, SHR Media, K98 Talk, iHeartRadio, Red State Talk Radio, and AM/FM 24/7. We are everywhere. We are everywhere. And joining me today as my co-host is the exceptional one, the exceptional conservative from Washington, D.C., and that's my very good friend, Ken McClinton. Ken, welcome back to Conservative Commandos.
Rick, it's always good to be here on the Conservative Commandos radio show and talking with you and all of the great listeners around the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, the city of brotherly love, especially the Conservative Commandos radio family on the Internet.
Great to have you with us. So, Ken, what's on your radar screen today, my friend?
Well, first on the radar screen is all the tugging, the pushing, and the shoving that's going on to be nominated President of the United States, at least from the Republican Party.
Mm-hmm.
There's an article in Salon today where Donald Trump is stating that part of the Democrat corruption in New York, that Ted Cruz is saying that Donald Trump is part of the Democrat corruption in New York, and would necessarily blow up the Republican Party by being elected President of the United States. There seems to be this great discomfort amongst the two to just agree to disagree peaceably without necessarily drawing blood.
Between Trump and Cruz?
That's right.
I don't know, Ken. I think if they could draw blood and get away with it, they certainly would. I used to think, well, maybe they did like each other. Things were a bit civil between the two of them, but not so much anymore. I'm telling you, it's kind of vicious out there, my friend.
It is, and it worries me a bit. Not about these two guys, because they're politicians. At the end of the day, they'll go into a smoke-filled room and agree to work together to garner power. But it's the grassroots people. It's people who listen to the Conservative Commandos radio network, where they have families that are actually separating and fighting amongst themselves as if it's a civil war of some type, that it would be disastrous to have either one of them as president of the United States. Now, you know, I'm more of a Cruz person than certainly a Trump. But I thought our real enemy was Hillary.
Well, I guess before we get to that enemy, we have to cross other people's territories, Ken. You know, is the real enemy Hillary? I think it's not just Hillary; it's anybody on the left, because the left has surely made us our enemies. So it's Hillary, it's Bernie, it's Joe Biden, it's Barack Obama, it's anybody on that side.
Exactly. I'm just waiting for the time period that we turn in this election and start focusing on beating up on the left as much as they're beating up on each other.
Well, you know, this is the most rancorous primary campaign I've certainly have ever seen in my lifetime. I guess back in the early 1800s, you had campaigns like this between Andrew Jackson and John Quincy Adams. Those campaigns were kind of nasty, calling each other's wives whores and prostitutes. But certainly, I have not seen anything like this in my lifetime. And you see, Ken, what the problem is there's so much rancor going on out there. There's so much personal arguing and bickering. Nobody is talking about the issues. And that's what America needs to hear. They need to hear, where do these candidates line up on the issues? But it's all about Trump's wife and Cruz's wife and New York values and all these other things that have nothing to do with taking the country in a positive direction.
Exactly. And you know, the other thing, and I am so glad that people have an opportunity to listen to you during the course of the week, because you bring maturity and sensibilities to the entire process. The bottom line is...
Are you trying to butter me up, Ken, or what's going on here? What?
Oh, it's true! It's true!
You know, John Forsythe Jr. behind me here is listening to this and cringing.
No, it's true. You have so many of the factions of quote-unquote conservative talk out there, and all they're doing is reciting the talking point of the day that comes out of the newspaper. It's people who talk about the principles of life that make a big difference in this particular campaign. And when all the smoke has been dissipated, the only thing that we have is what we believe in and our values. And those are the things that are worthy of fighting for.
You know, Ken, let's talk for a minute about these New York values, all right? And let me defend Ted Cruz a little bit on this.
Yes.
I got a few emails recently, I didn't receive emails, posts on Facebook from people talking about New York values. And, for instance, the governor of New York does not want conservatives to come to his state. He does not want people who believe in the sanctity of marriage coming into their state. Bill de Blasio, it's okay for anybody to use any bathroom that they want to at any particular time they want to use it. And is this the New York values now? Is that just the values of liberal New York? But certainly liberal New York, since you got a Democrat governor, you got a communist as mayor of New York City. You know, let's go beyond socialist. I mean, the only step between capitalism and communism is socialism, leading you to capitalism. But my gosh, you know, what are the New York values? Let me tell you something, Ken. I don't think the wife and I are going to be visiting New York very soon. Okay. You know, and if we have to go to New York, let me tell you something. If my wife has to go into the bathroom, I am going in with her. I'm going in with her just to make sure that there's not a pervert there to harm her, to take her picture, or to do whatever you want, because it's game on in New York right now. It's game on in New York. That you can't even go to the bathroom and have a little privacy, thanks to Mayor de Blasio. And the governor of New York certainly doesn't want my kind to come into his state. So why should I take my money there?
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I mean, especially when there are stores in Colorado that are now rebutting the law because of the number of incidents where people have gone into the bathroom and taken pictures of individuals and invaded the privacy. Oh, no. I don't want to go there either.
Yeah, so Ken, there's no way I want to go to New York City for any reason. Let me tell you somewhere else. Let me tell you where I'm going to go. I'm going to go to North Carolina.
Amen. Because
there are people down there who do believe in the sanctity of privacy when you go to use the bathroom. And I'll tell you a company I'm not going to be doing business with, Ken, and that's that PayPal company. PayPal. You know, PayPal does not want to. PayPal supposedly had this plan to open up some sort of facility in North Carolina because North Carolina passed a law protecting people in bathrooms, protecting the sanctity of marriage. Oh, well, now we don't want to go to North Carolina, say PayPal. Well, you know what? It is time for us conservatives to use our power, which is our economic power, to do the same thing that Barack Obama said we should do, and that's to reward our friends and punish our enemies. So when you got states and cities like New York, when you got companies like Coca-Cola and PayPal, I don't think you're going to see a Coke in my house anytime soon either.
There you go.
Even if it is on sale. And I'll say this to marry my bride, even if it isn't on sale, I don't want Coke or any Coke product in my house.
Yeah, I agree with you. Now, it's amazing how certain people who call themselves
Ken, you know what? Ken, I have to interrupt because we are way beyond taking our break, and you are listening to Conservative Commandos with Ken McClinton and Rick Trader, coming to you from the studios of the Conservative Commandos Radio Network at WNJC 1360 in Philly and around the world on the internet with American Patriots Broadcasting, TalkStream Live, SHR Media, K98 Talk, iHeartRadio, Red State Talk Radio, AM, FM 24/7. Our show is brought to you by the First Amendment, and it is protected by the Second. And if you don't think there's linkage there, just think about it for a minute. Ken and I will be right back.
That's my prerogative. They say I'm nasty, but I...
The Conservative Commandos radio show is expanding to become the Conservative Commandos Radio Network. We are establishing a front line of conservative radio broadcasters and ironclad patriots to declare war against the madness of liberalism and the Obama administration. Are you tired of the disregard for our Constitution? Do you still have faith in the American dream? Are you looking for sensible, smart radio? If so, listen to the Conservative Commandos Radio Network every weekday from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Saturdays from 2 to 6 p.m. on WNJC Radio, 1360 on your AM dial, or around the world on the internet at WNJCradio.com. Check out our website, CCRSnetwork.com, for rebroadcasts and network updates. We are the Conservative Commandos Radio Network, where now even more newsmakers go to be heard.
We're David and Patty Barrickman of Wildflower Ridge Honey, beekeepers for 49 years. I want to tell you about a great survival and a multi-use product called Trail Rations. It is pure honey and a product of the USA. Trail Rations comes in a food-grade 12-ounce, very durable and reusable pouch, ready for immediate use or for long-term storage because honey is the only food that never spoils. Honey is instant energy and goes right straight to your bloodstream. Honey is one of the best all-natural survival foods, natural sweetener right straight from Mother Nature. Honey is also antiviral, fungal, and bacterial. It's your first aid in a pouch. Carry one in your backpack or your bug-out bag. Find us on Facebook, Wildflower Ridge Honey. or call 765-641-9972. 765-641-9972.
I think we should make public colleges and universities tuition-free.
Climate change is directly related to the growth of terrorism.
Remove the federal prohibition on marijuana.
Climate change poses immediate risks to our national security.
I did not email any classified material to anyone. There is no classified material. Certainly well aware of the classification requirements.
We have a lot to learn from democratic socialist governments that have existed in countries like Denmark, Sweden, Finland, Norway.
This campaign is about a political revolution to transform this country.
You know? Now more than ever, we need our voice in Washington. Now more than ever, we need Sharon Angle in Washington. Go to runsharonangle.com and help us draft Sharon Angle to run for U.S. Senate.
You can call the Conservative Commandos radio show at 856-227-1360. Your opinion counts at 856-227-1360.
This is Congressman Alan West, and you're listening to the Conservative Commando radio show.
Welcome back to Conservative Commandos radio show with Ken McClinton and yours truly, Rick Trader. If you'd like to hear rebroadcasts of our shows, check out our website, ccrshow.com or ccrsnetwork.com. Or mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern, log on to leadingedgeradionetwork.com at 1 p.m. You can log on to roarradio.net or at 9 p.m. highplainsdailynews.com. Or you could listen to this show and all the shows that are associated with the Conservative Commandos Radio Network from your telephone by calling 832-999-1199. You don't need an app. You don't need to download anything. It's free of charge unless this is a toll call for you. But it's 832-999-1199. Use those mobile minutes, especially if you have unlimited mobile minutes. Well, Ken, I interrupted you before we went to the break and wanted to give, before we discuss our guest today, why don't you finish the thought that you had?
Yeah, virtually we're in a situation here in America where the mature individuals have to step up and take leadership and this resolve. I think you speak eloquently to the fact that New York values are not the values of conservatives. And quite frankly, there are those who are in the conservative party who are trying to convince us that if we just give up our principles and our virtues, then we can win the election, and then after the election, we can talk about inserting our values and our virtues back into the election process. I say stick to what you believe in, and let the chips fall where they may.
Well, I agree with that, Ken. And I think if they stuck to their values, you'd be having a lot more people coming out of the woodwork to support them.
Exactly. You would. That people don't like wishy-washy folk. They like people that stay true to what they believe in.
It's true. Ken, you've put together a great list of guests for us today. Would you like to tell our audience?
Almost certainly. We love Helen Rowley. Helen Rowley returns to us after a short bit from us, and she is the author of Confucius Never Said. She's the silver winner of the 2015 IBPA's Benjamin Franklin Award, author of Invest Like a Zen Master and Live Happily Ever After. Well, she's going to be talking to us today about her recent writing in Town Hall about students, that basically students need to learn more about Western society than worrying about what school they go to. And that's at 3:35. At 4:05, a great friend of mine, Pastor Sylvester Bland, will be joining us. He has a big event coming up on July 4th in Philadelphia, PA. And it's all about being an army of one, where we individually take responsibility for coming together and praying in our city's capital. You don't need 1 million people. just 2 or 3 gathered, and his name is sufficient. We'll be talking about that campaign for Philadelphia. And at 4:35, Jeff Cox, journalist, CNBC writer, and host, is coming to talk with us about his new book, The 30-Minute Millionaire. So I'm actively looking forward to listening to him tell me how I can be a millionaire in the next 30 minutes.
Let's pray on that one.
Let's pray on that one.
We'll get Pastor Brian and we'll pray on that one.
We definitely will. We definitely will. You know, Bill Clinton is making some news.
He is. Boy, we haven't heard from him for a while, have we?
Exactly. But Bill Clinton, forget about standing up for Hillary. Forget about standing up for the Democrat Party. No, Black Lives Matter was coming directly for him in Philadelphia the other day, and Bill Clinton put him off. He said, you all are standing up for the murderers and the drug dealers that have been killing your own people.
Wow.
Stop coming after me. Love Bill on that one.
Wow. Maybe he had something there. You know, maybe he had something there.
Exactly.
And of course, I'll tell you when Black Lives will start to matter. And that's when this Black Lives crowd stops supporting the party that is for abortion that has probably killed like 20 million little black babies. That's when Black Lives will matter. No, they don't care about that. They're just out there to push an agenda. Black lives don't matter to them. Their own lives do.
Exactly. Anything a government grant can give them is all that matters. That's the black-white of the matter at hand. It's all about the green.
Well, I didn't say that, Ken. You did. Because you being a black man, can say things that I, as a white man, cannot say. And we know that's true.
We do know that. That's absolutely true. And I think Bill Clinton learned that yesterday, that he lost his credentials as the first black president of the United States of America.
Yeah, well, he's never gotten over that, since Barack Obama sits in the White House now. I refuse to call that man president. He's not the president of my country. But ever since Barack Obama sits in the executive office, a place that Bill Clinton used to be, he don't like it so much because Bill Clinton is no longer the first real black president in the United States. Well, then again, is Barack Obama, Barack Obama, his mother being white, his father being black. I mean, what's that make him? Does that make him a black man, brown man, white man? I don't know.
I don't know.
I want leaders, Ken. I want leaders that are going to lead our country, our communities. I don't care if they're black, white, pink, purple, male, female. I don't care. I just want leaders. I want leaders that are going to show real leadership. I want leaders that are going to show some common sense. I want leaders that are going to take this political correctness and dump it, because this political correctness is killing us. It's absolutely killing us. I mean, it's literally killing us.
Exactly. And one other thing about Bill, and I want to stand up for Bill because, quite frankly, it will be the only time you ever hear me do it. I was very proud of him putting back or getting back at the Black Lives Matter movement for their immaturity and irresponsibility. And I love the quip that he made while in Philadelphia that Hillary is going to help us get over the last bad 8 years that we've experienced. What a shot at Barack Obama.
Whoa, what a shot at Barack Obama is right. Oh.
There's no love lost there.
Well, now you even have, and some, I don't know why, there are some people that think that Bill Clinton was the greatest president of our lifetime. And now you've got the greatest president of our lifetime and coming out and saying what a waste this last 7.5 years has been. Well, Ken, we're up against the break again. Time flies when you're having fun. And you're listening to Conservative Commandos with Ken McClinton and Rick Trader, coming to you from the studios of the Conservative Commandos Radio Network at WNJC 1360 in Philly and around the world on the internet with American Patriots Broadcasting, TalkStream Live, SHR Media, K98 Talk, iHeartRadio, Red State Talk Radio. Ken, did you know we're part of them now? And AM FM 24/7. Don't go away. Ken and I will be right back with our first guest, Helen Rowley.
You've heard Paul Delps playing the music on the Your Music Matters morning show. He is also an experienced mortgage loan officer working for U.S. Mortgage Corporation and assists homeowners navigate the reverse mortgage process. If you are finding yourself asking questions whether or not you set aside enough for retirement, Paul can sit down with you, your family, and your financial advisor and discuss how a reverse mortgage may be a valuable resource for your retirement plan. You will be responsible for paying your taxes and insurance, and the reverse mortgage can help with this and other expenses, such as home health care or other untimely bills. Put Paul's 20-plus years of experience to work for you, as choosing the right option for your situation can be critical. Call Paul at U.S. Mortgage Corporation at 877-213-9977. That's 877-213-9977. Or go to seniormatters.info for more information. U.S. Mortgage Corporation is a licensed mortgage banker in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware, and an equal housing lender. NMLS number 3901. U.S. Mortgage Corporation is located at 201 Old Country Road, Suite 140, Melville, New York, 11747. This advertisement applies to first lien mortgages. Paul E. Dilks, NMLS is 485904.
Hi, we're David and Patty Barrickman of Wildflower Ridge Honey, beekeepers for 49 years. I want to tell you about a great survival and a multi-use product called Trail Rations. It is pure honey and a product of the USA. Trail Rations comes in a food-grade 12-ounce, very durable and reusable pouch, ready for immediate use or for long-term storage because honey is the only food that never spoils. Honey is instant energy and goes right straight to your bloodstream. Honey is one of the best all-natural survival foods, natural sweetener right straight from Mother Nature. Honey is also antiviral, fungal, and bacterial. It's your first aid in a pouch. Carry one in your backpack or your bug-out bag. Find us on Facebook, Wildflower Ridge Honey, or call 765-641-9972, 765-641-9972.
What does it take to be the leader in production systems technology? To be the one company that solves production problems at any plant, for any product, and with any technology? It takes a 30-year record of success. It takes total mastery of complex technologies with a history of delivering success every time, without fail. Only one company can claim that high ground in manufacturing line optimization, data automation, and systems integration, and that's Philadelphia Control Systems. In factories worldwide, Philadelphia Control Systems programs, software, and engineering solutions deliver optimal performance and output flow with a record that can't be matched. Any plant, any product, any technology. Philadelphia Control Systems, the leader in production automation since 1982. 800-335-9811. PCS4automation.com. That's PCS, the number 4, automation.com.
The Conservative Commandos radio show is expanding to become the Conservative Commandos Radio Network. We're establishing a front line of conservative radio broadcasters and ironclad patriots to declare war against the madness of liberalism and the Obama administration. Are you tired, as I am, about the disregard for our Constitution? Do you still have faith in the American dream? Are you looking for sensible, smart radio? If so, listen to the Conservative Commandos Radio Network every weekday from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. on WNJC Radio 1360 a.m. or around the world on the internet at WNJCradio.com. Check out our websites, ConservativeCommandosRadioNetwork.com and CCRN.com for rebroadcasts and network updates. We are the Conservative Commandos Radio Network, where even more newsmakers go to be heard.
I think we should make public colleges and universities tuition-free.
Climate change is directly related to the growth of terrorism.
remove the federal prohibition on marijuana.
Climate change poses immediate risks to our national security.
I did not email any classified material to anyone. There is no classified material. Certainly well aware of the classification requirements.
We have a lot to learn from democratic socialist governments that have existed in countries like Denmark, Sweden, Finland, Norway.
This campaign is about a political revolution to transform this country.
Now more than ever, we need our voice in Washington. Now more than ever, we need Sharon Angle in Washington. Go to runsharonangle.com and help us draft Sharon Angle to run for U.S. Senate.
From the East Coast to the West Coast and around the world on the internet, we're coming to you live from the CCRS studios. WNJC 1360. This is the Conservative Commandos radio show with your host, Rick Trader. The Conservative Commandos radio show, where the newsmakers go to be heard. You can call the Conservative Commandos radio show at 856-227-1360. Your opinion counts at 856-227-1360.
This is Congressman Alan West, and you're listening to the Conservative Commando radio show.
Welcome back to Conservative Commandos with Ken McClinton and yours truly, Rick Trader. And for rebroadcasts of our show, check out our websites, ccrshow.com or ccrsnetwork.com. Or mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern, log on to leadingedgeradionetwork.com. At 1 p.m., roarradio.net or 9 p.m., highplainsdailynews.com. Or you can hear our show from your phone by calling 832-999-1199. Ken McClinton, we do have our first guest with us today, and will you make the introduction?
Ellen Rowley is probably one of the most audacious and most prolific writers on townhall.com. She has a new article out called College Students Before You Ask Who's Teaching Us. Ask yourself, what have I learned? And I think it's very, very important that we discover that very same answer to the question. She's the author of Confucius Never Said, author of also Invest Like a Zen Master, presents to some and introduced to others, the wonderful and the great Helen Rowley. Good evening, good afternoon. It's a pleasure to have you on the program.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you for a very generous introduction. It's an honor to be on your program.
Helen, what's wrong with the kids today?
Well, that's a really good question. And we all know the answers. Basically, I think the progressives have been riding the tigers. Now they found the kids have been feeding all this progressive ideology. Now come back to bite them, basically.
Exactly. You did a wonderful job in writing this particular piece. And you speak at many colleges throughout the course of the year. Are our children today a little bit more sensitive than we were when we were going to college, or even our parents?
Oh yes, absolutely. They need a faint couch and they're like snowflakes. But you know what? I think mostly it's the adults' fault. Like I said, for several decades, our college campuses have become so progressive that college students are rarely exposed to a different kind of ideas. So they were so brainwashed with the progressive ideology that they cannot tolerate. They have no tolerance for ideas that are slightly different from the traditionally believed in, and they couldn't put up with. And then, if you think they're weak, but then when they react to different ideas, they react in such a noise and sometimes even violence. It's like, well, they're weak on the one hand, they can't tolerate different ideas, even slightly disagreement, but on the other hand, they react with such a strong emotion. It's a very weird combination, I have to say.
It is. It's kind of psychotic, in the sense that most people, when they hear us, because you're of Asian descent, I'm of colored, black, Negro, African American, depending on which rainy day it is, and we change the name as often as we can, of that particular hue and descent. Most people would think that we weren't conservatives in the first place, but we are. Most people would say, well, how come the two of you are not okay with ethnicity studies? And why aren't you okay with safe places for your people so that you will be more comfortable in these? Shouldn't we want that special privilege?
No. Because you and I both believe all men are created equal. Okay, we're all equal. We have equal natural rights in front of God. Just because you're black, I'm yellow, or somebody else is white, doesn't make any difference. All right. As I mentioned in the article, I'm not saying we should only learn about Western classic texts written by white men. I acknowledge, in white civilization, white cultures, there are faults of our own too. I encourage we learn all classical texts, but the fundamental thing is we should not let our children exposed to different thoughts, different ideas, just because they were written by people of certain color. Or we're supposed to elevate certain ideas or certain thoughts just only because they were written by people of certain color. I want our college campus full of diversity of ideas. That's what I think kids go to college to do. I mean, rarely they can learn something they can immediately implement it in their real life first job. But you go to college to learn how to become a better person, to learn how to think rationally, logically, and then you take those methodology, you take that mentality. When you go into real life, you're prepared. You're prepared to deal with anything that life throws at you. To me, that's the real purpose to go to college.
Exactly. But there's some parents out there that say that you and I and Rick are a little harsh. I mean, our little babies don't need to learn how to think because we taught them how to think. They just need some reassurance so that they can get a good job. How's that been working for us?
That's never going to work. Real life is harsh. Rick, Ken, and, if you read my book, Confucius Never Said, when I first came to United States, I had only $100 in my pocket. I knew no one. I had no relative, no friends in this country. I started scrubbing toilets in the Chinese restaurant and, washing dishes. I mean, life is hard. There's nobody gonna be there. And there are many kind people help me throughout the way, but you can't count on that, and you can't count on somebody who's always going to be there babysitting you throughout the rest of your life. You have to learn. You have to have a good moral foundation. You have to have a good emotional intelligence, and you have to have real knowledge and skills to carry you throughout the life. That's what we send the kids to college for.
You're absolutely right. Helen, I am so glad that you're here with us today. I'm so glad you wrote. When we come back, we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of why you should not be ashamed of Western civilization and why your children should learn it, or at least learn how to think about it before they are broached with the Black Lives Matters movement in the safe places of our current-day modern colleges. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Helen Rowley with us, and we will encourage you to stay with us as we're coming to you live from the Conservative Commando's Radio Network Studios, WNJC 1360, our flagship station in Philadelphia, PA, and around the world on the Internet with American Patriots Broadcasting, TalkStream Live, SHR Media, K98 Talk, iHeartRadio, AM, FM 24/7, and our new host, Red State Talk Radio. Thank you so much. We'll be right back with Helen Rowley.
This
Conservative Commandos radio show is expanding to become the Conservative Commandos radio network. We are establishing a front line of conservative radio broadcasters and ironclad patriots to declare war against the madness of liberalism and the Obama administration. Are you tired of the disregard for our Constitution? Do you still have faith in the American dream? Are you looking for sensible, smart radio? If so, listen to the Conservative Commandos radio network every weekday from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Saturdays from 2 to 6 p.m. on WNJC Radio, 1360 on your AM dial, or around the world on the internet at WNJCradio.com. Check out our website, CCRSnetwork.com, for rebroadcasts and network updates. We are the Conservative Commandos Radio Network, where now even more newsmakers go to be heard.
Hi, we're David and Patty Barrickman of Wildflower Ridge Honey, beekeepers for 49 years. I want to tell you about a great survival and a multi-use product called Trail Rations. It is pure honey and a product of the USA. Trail Rations comes in a food-grade 12-ounce, very durable and reusable pouch, ready for immediate use or for long-term storage, because honey is the only food that never spoils. Honey is instant energy and goes right straight to your bloodstream. Honey is one of the best all-natural survival foods, natural sweetener right straight from Mother Nature. Honey is also antiviral, fungal, and bacterial. It's your first aid in a pouch. Carry one in your backpack or your bug-out bag. Find us on Facebook, Wildflower Ridge Honey, or call 765-641-9972, 765-641-9972.
I think we should make public colleges and universities tuition-free.
Climate change is directly related to the growth of terrorism.
Remove the federal prohibition on marijuana.
Climate change poses immediate risks to our national security.
I did not email any classified material to anyone. There is no classified material. Certainly well aware of the classification requirements.
We have a lot to learn from democratic socialist governments that have existed in countries like Denmark, Sweden, Finland, Norway.
This campaign is about a political revolution to transform this country.
You know? Now more than ever, we need our voice in Washington. Now more than ever, we need Sharon Angle in Washington. Go to runsharonangle.com and help us draft Sharon Angle to run for U.S. Senate.
You can call the Conservative Commandos radio show at 856-227-1360. Your opinion counts at 856-227-1360.
This is Congressman Alan West, and you're listening to the Conservative Commando radio show.
Welcome back to Conservative Commandos with Ken McClinton and Rick Trader. And for rebroadcast of our shows, check out our websites, ccrshow.com or ccrsnetwork.com. Or mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern, log on to leadingedgeradionetwork.com at 1 p.m., roarradio.net, or at 9 p.m., highplainsdailynews.com. Or you can listen to our show from your telephone at any time by calling 832-999-1199. Our guest this segment is writer and author and truly an American success story, Helen Rowley. Helen, welcome back to Conservative Commandos.
Thanks, Rick.
Helen, looking at your article that is on Town Hall, it's up today. College students, before you ask, quote, who's teaching us? Ask yourself, what have I learned? And, well, maybe, Helen, I shouldn't read this because your skin is a little different than mine. And there's nothing that I can learn from your article because you speak a little differently than I, Helen. Let's forget the success that you had. That you are truly an American success story coming here with $100 in your pocket. But because you're different than me, there's nothing I can learn from you.
Okay. Are you joking or are you...
Of course I'm joking. I'm being a little facetious here because basically this group that you write about, who's teaching us, this group at Stanford University that has 20 demands and some of them what you put in your article here are truly ridiculous. Because, Helen, if we only learn from people who look like us, who sound like us, we can't learn much, can we?
Right, and really, if that's the case, why are those people even in America? If there's so desire to learn something about how great North Korea is or how great Cuba is, we should send them there for an exchange program.
Oh, I'm for that. I'm for that.
Yeah,
I'll buy him one way.
I think that's my next group. My next charity group will be to fund any Americans who desire to live a life like in North Korea or Cuba.
Yeah. Helen, in your article, you talk about one of their demands, demand number 3, quote, "We demand the engaging diversity requirements be reformed so that it only includes classes that address diversity as it relates to issues of power, privilege, and systems of oppression, so that students will be required to take 2 engaging diversity classes instead of 1. Helen Riley, what do these courses prepare these students for in life?
Well, these courses only prepare them to be Bernie Sanders supporter, to spend the rest of their life demanding somebody else to be accountable for their own well-being, to feel entitled to other people's fruits of labor. We are raising the next generation of moochers, not hardworking, self-dependent Americans.
Helen, demand number 7. We demand the removal of Wells Fargo from our campus and for Stanford to recognize its discriminatory lending practices in black and brown neighborhoods and investment in CAA and GEO Group's business interests that dehumanize black and immigrant people. What the heck are they talking about? What have they got against Wells Fargo Bank?
I don't know. Well, what does Bernie Sanders have anything against the big business? You heard him talking about against the big banks, big business every day, and then when he showed up the interview, he doesn't even know what he's talking about. And now I find the Democrat presidential race is finally interesting when Bernie and Hillary both accusing each other. They're not, but either side is not qualified. I finally found it interesting because when the truth finally came out.
Ken, with that, I'll throw it back to you.
I don't even know how to respond to this.
Exactly. It's the demands that are in this particular article, and whether it's CCA, GEO Group's business interests, whether it's alternative programs, which I find very offensive, that if I get into a university, I have to be slotted for an alternative program. I'm offended. Have we gotten to the point where universities are so crippled that they no longer want to even educate? They want to appease.
You are absolutely right, Ken. And we need to find you a safe space since you're so.
Helen, I've been telling him that for a long time. He's a conservative. He's a conservative in Washington, D.C. That man needs a safe space.
Yeah, we need to keep him safe because he's not a commodity. He's a rare occasion, rare instance in that city.
Hey, Helen, Ken, sorry to jump in again. Helen, I just want to ask you one question. Okay, so they're demanding that students take all these useless, senseless classes. How much money is going to be wasted? I mean, what does a year at Stanford University cost?
Well, so a year in Stanford University, I believe it costs at least $60,000.
$60,000. So parents and students are supposed to waste $60,000 to make somebody feel good about themselves, right?
Right.
Ken, back to you.
Helen, you are one of the most controversial writers in America, really, because you are no holds barred. You tell it exactly like it is. And in one of your particular sections in here, you speak of Earl Shorey. And Earl Shorey explained that studying Western classics gave each person a foundation for getting along in the world, for thinking, for learning to reflect on the world instead of just reacting to whatever force is turned against you. Is it too late for our children to learn this stuff at college? Shouldn't they be learning this stuff in grade school and elementary school?
Well, I firmly believe it's never too late to learn.
Okay.
It's never too late to better yourself. So I firmly believe learning is a lifelong process. On the other hand, that is why I wrote this article, because I just found this whole thing. I mean, you should read their other demands. They demand their next president of the Stanford needs to be somebody not only colored, but from disadvantaged background, underrepresented, ethnicity group. It just, all this demand shows that, as I mentioned in my article, these kids are undereducated. They are definitely not prepared for the real world out there. And they're going to be the future citizens of this country. They're going to, our future political leaders and business leaders and the future workforce are going to come out of these kids. I'm deeply concerned. I think we need to push back to help them realize this. And no matter how difficult this conversation is going to be, we have to do it.
Is the only safe place for a parent homeschooling now?
Well, I don't know. It depends on what they're teaching their kids in homeschool.
That's true. That's true. Helen, you are awesome. And we love having you on Conservative Commandos Radio Network. How can people get your wonderful book, especially your writings regarding your transition from China to here, and how you overcame so much?
Thank you, Ken, and thanks, Rick. And they can find all my articles and get the books on HenryRowleySpeaks.com. And I actually will have a new book coming out on immigration. It's called the Broken Welcome Mat. It should release sometime in May.
Hey, Helen, before we let you go, it's me again, the ridiculous one. I've got to ask you a question. You came here with $100 to your name. It was all those government programs for immigrants that put you on the road to success, right?
No, I wasn't eligible for any program.
Well, you see, that's what I hear.
It was scrubbing the toilet in a Chinese restaurant for $4.50 put me through to where I am today.
Yeah, because I only say that, Helen, because this is what I hear a lot of times, is that, Helen, if you go into a lot of stores in the area that we are in now, we see people from China, people from Vietnam, people from the Middle East, people from Europe, working in the stores, running in the owning the stores, but very few Americans anymore. And when I ask people about this, I say, well, why can they succeed and you can't? They tell me all the time about all these special programs that are available to immigrants that are not available to citizens. And surely somebody who came here, what were you, 13 you said, when you came to the United States?
Well, I came here to attend a grad school.
No, I mean, how old were you when you came?
I'm not going to tell you.
How old? You won't tell me how old you were? Okay, well, you don't have to. But I'm just saying, surely somebody that came here at a very young age with only $100 in their pocket, who has achieved everything that you have, certainly must have been beneficiary of one of these programs for immigrants that I'm told all about that are available for immigrants that aren't available for citizens. And I just wanted to...
Well, okay, I'm sorry to jump in. I know you're probably going to come up to our, cutoff time, but I do want to make a point about this. Mm-hmm. I think that's an unfair statement because most immigrants are like me. We came here for a better life, are willing to work hard because we came here. We traveled a long way to come here, overcame all kinds of odds. I think what really holding American workers back are our country's ruinous regulations, laws and regulations, like minimum wage laws, like occupation license laws, and EPA, Clean Air Act, all those things add a tremendous cost to business to hire workers as well, and also our education system that what we have been talking about are not prepared, are not doing a good job to prepare American workers to take on the new challenges. So I acknowledge that, many American workers are now in economic distress, but I don't think it's a fair statement to just blame the immigrants. That we really should examine internally about our own policies, rules, and regulations that are not business friendly and that not worker friendly, or that are against individual rights to freely choose how they want to live their own life.
Well, Helen, I want to thank you so much for coming on Conservative Commandos. I'm glad you said what you did at the end, because let me tell you something. My grandparents on my mom's side came here in 1911 with very little money, not knowing the language, not having great prospects, but they came here for freedom and not free things. My grandmother, up to the time where she couldn't do it anymore, earned a living by cleaning floors in churches. So anyway, Helen Riley, I want to thank you so much for joining us. One more time, please give out your website.
My website is HelenRowleySpeaks.com, and you can follow me on Twitter at HRowleySpeaks.
Helen, thanks for joining us once again. Take care. God bless.
Thank you.
And you are listening to Conservative Commandos with Ken McClinton and Rick Trader, coming to you from the studios of the Conservative Commandos Radio Network at WNJC 1360 in Philly and around the world on the internet with American Patriots Broadcasting, TalkStream Live, SHR Media, K98 Talk, iHeartRadio, AM, FM 24/7. Our newest affiliate is Red State Talk Radio. Don't go away. Ken and I will be right back with our next guest.
I'm crazy. I really don't care. That's not
yes, sir.
Good deal. They say I'm nasty.
Okay.
But
Will do. Right.
The Conservative Commandos radio show is expanding to become the Conservative Commandos radio network.
Man.
We are establishing a front line of conservative radio broadcasters and ironclad patriots to declare war against the madness of liberalism and the Obama administration. Are you tired of the disregard for our Constitution? Do you still have faith in the American dream? Are you looking for sensible, smart radio? If so, listen to the Conservative Commandos radio network every weekday from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Saturdays from 2 to 6 p.m. on WNJC Radio, 1360 on your AM dial, or around the world on the internet at WNJCradio.com. Check out our website, CCRSnetwork.com, for rebroadcasts and network updates. We are the Conservative Commandos Radio Network, where now even more newsmakers go to be heard.
We're David and Patty Barrickman of Wildflower Ridge Honey, beekeepers for 49 years. I want to tell you about a great survival and a multi-use product called Trail Rations. It is pure honey and a product of the USA. Trail Rations comes in a food-grade 12-ounce, very durable and reusable pouch, ready for immediate use or for long-term storage, because honey is the only food that never spoils. Honey is instant energy and goes right straight to your bloodstream. Honey is one of the best all-natural survival foods, natural sweetener right straight from Mother Nature. Honey is also antiviral, fungal, and bacterial. It's your first aid in a pouch. Carry one in your backpack or your bug-out bag. Find us on Facebook, Wildflower Ridge Honey, or call 765-641-9972, 765-641-9972.
I think we should make public colleges and universities tuition-free.
Climate change is directly related to the growth of terrorism.
Remove the federal prohibition on marijuana.
Climate change poses immediate risks to our national security.
I did not email any classified material to anyone. There is no classified material. Certainly well aware of the classification requirements.
We have a lot to learn from democratic socialist governments that have existed in countries like Denmark, Sweden, Finland, Norway.
This campaign is about a political revolution to transform this country.
Now more than ever, we need our voice in Washington. Now more than ever, we need Sharon Angle in Washington. Go to runsharonangle.com and help us draft Sharon Angle to run for U.S. Senate.
You can call the Conservative Commandos radio show at 856-227-1360. Your opinion counts at 856-227-1360.
This is Congressman Alan West, and you're listening to the Conservative Commando radio show.
If you would like to hear rebroadcast of today's wonderful and great and illustrious show, please check out our website, www.ccrsnetwork.com and www.ccrshow.com. For mornings at 9 a.m., log on to leadingedgeradionetwork.com. Or at 1 p.m., log on to www.roar.radio, that's R-O-A-R, radio.net. And at 9 p.m., log on to highplainsdailynews.com. Now you can listen to the Conservative Commandos from any phone by calling 832-999-1199. Ladies and gentlemen, met this gentleman recently, and my life has not been the same. He is an illustrious leader from the left coast, California IA, has a wonderful ministry out there, and he has a project called I Am an Army of One, one that will demand us to pray for our leaders in such a way that is so radical, it may change the very nature of your city. Without further ado, I want to present to some and introduce to others, Pastor Sylvester Bland. Good afternoon, sir. It's a pleasure, honor to have you with us.
Good afternoon. All right. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Listen, we're broadcasting live from Philadelphia, PA, from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. You will be here July 4th. I want you to tell everyone off the bat why you're going to be here, and we'll work our way backwards from there.
There you go. Yes, well, we believe that this year, November, we will be able to tell exactly where our nation is headed. Either we've turned this ship around to getting back our prosperity and blessings from God, or it's time to batten down the hatches, but hunker down and get ready for a whirlwind of darkness, basically. And so what we've done is we've had a monthly prayer that we've been putting together that's going to lead right up to the election. But on the 4th of July is where our national focus and prayer of unification. We have one petition with 5 points in it that we're asking God to help us and deliver us. And that's what it's all about. We will be there where the Declaration of Independence was signed, and we'll be asking God to deliver us and to make us totally independent, at least start thinking that way, to be independent from this world and our total dependence on God on the so-called Independence Day. We have to start acting like we're independent. We are in the world, but we're not of the world. That's why we'll be there praying, speaking. I believe yourself and Lonnie Poindexter and others, we're still putting that all together, but we've already locked in a area that will be there in front of the Independence Hall.
Well, you mentioned Lonnie Poindexter, and there's so many others that are with you, but I denote that those are conservative Christian leaders. Yes. This is the first, isn't it? I mean, you normally don't have Christian leaders from the urban community involving themselves with praying for the nation. That might be a hyperbole, overstatement, but you understand what I'm saying, right?
Yes, I do. Not normally. It's usually they're always praying because something bad has happened on an individual city by city basis, But what we're praying for, we're praying as leaders, as being the ambassadors of God. And I believe our voices are uniquely designed by God to be heard because of what we have gone through as a people and as a nation. You know, if anybody has their ear to the ground that can literally shape a culture and cause it to change, it is the people that have the darker skin.
Exactly. Now, there's some people that will say, wait a minute, you know, this is really, really a whole lot. I got to get 300 or 400 people together. We got to get buses. We got to print invitations, you know, and then we got to decide on which bishop is going to lead the prayer, whatever.
Right.
And, you know, is that the type of thing you're talking about doing?
Absolutely not. No, it is. We invite all of Philadelphia and anybody else that can make it to our prayer rally. But the thing that makes this so simple, we know that there are a number of shut-ins. Let me start with them. I believe that, Jesus said very clear that the first will be last and the last shall be first. That little praying grandma knows how to get prayers directly to the throne room of God, that many of us have been walking with the Lord 30, 40, 50 years because she has wore her body out praying for her grandbabies and great-grandbabies, you know. And so they can do that right from their living room. And those that are mobile enough, we ask you to occupy your own local city hall, the seat of justice. All politics starts locally. Matter of fact, that's why the presidential hopefuls, you know, go out to the highways and byways. They go to sandwich shops and coffee houses and shake hands with you because they know that they need that one-on-one contact in order to show their face that they are real people and not some grandiose monarch of some kind. So what we've done is, the Bible is the one that said that, is to go ye therefore and preach and teach and make disciples, love people, let them see you. And so that's what we're doing. Those that can go out to their city hall, stay there for 5, 10, 15 minutes, pray this prayer in your own way, but yet it is specific around the country. We're asking, you know, we can love to have thousands of city hall individuals, armies of one, praying in front of their city halls, praying this unique, hard-hitting prayer that has teeth and mercy and grace all at the same time.
We are talking today with Pastor Sylvester Bland from out in California, IA, who is leading a huge charge under the United Saints of America, a charge to get men and women, we're not talking about in thousands, where 2 or 3 are gathered in his name, he's present, but to get people to pray in the sanctuary called their Capitol Hill, in their Capitol houses, and begin praying for the well-being of this particular nation. When we come back, we want to continue with this concept, and I want to talk with you about your 5 pillars of why that's such a motivating force to deal with the issues of today. We're coming to you live from the Conservative Commandos Radio Network Studios, WNJC 1360. It is our flagship station in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, PA, and around the world on the internet with American Patriots Broadcasting, TalkStream Live, SHR Media, K98 Talk, iHeartRadio, Red State Talk Radio, and AM FM 24/7. We'll be back with Pastor Sylvester Bland.
I'm crazy. I really don't care. That's my prerogative. They say I'm nasty, but I.
The Conservative Commandos radio show is expanding to become the Conservative Commandos radio network. We are establishing a front line of conservative radio broadcasters and ironclad patriots to declare war against the madness of liberalism and the Obama administration. Are you tired of the disregard for our Constitution? Do you still have faith in the American dream? Are you looking for sensible, smart radio? If so, listen to the Conservative Commandos radio network every weekday from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Saturdays from 2 to 6 6 p.m. on WNJC Radio, 1360 on your AM dial, or around the world on the internet at WNJCradio.com. Check out our website, ccrsnetwork.com, for rebroadcasts and network updates. We are the Conservative Commandos Radio Network, where now even more newsmakers go to be heard.
Hi, we're David and Patty Barrickman of Wildflower Ridge Honey, beekeepers for 49 years. I want to tell you about a great survival and a multi-use product called Trail Rations. It is pure honey and a product of the USA. Trail Rations comes in a food-grade 12-ounce, very durable and reusable pouch, ready for immediate use or for long-term storage, because honey is the only food that never spoils. Honey is instant energy and goes right straight to your bloodstream. Honey is one of the best all-natural survival foods, natural sweetener right straight from Mother Nature. Honey is also antiviral, fungal, and bacterial. It's your first aid in a pouch. Carry one in your backpack or your bug-out bag. Find us on Facebook, Wildflower Ridge Honey, or call 765-641-9972, 765-641-9972.
I think we should make public colleges and universities tuition-free.
Climate change is directly related to the growth of terrorism.
Remove the federal prohibition on marijuana.
Climate change poses immediate risks to our national security.
I did not email any classified material to anyone. There is no classified material. Certainly well aware of the classification requirements.
We have a lot to learn from democratic socialist governments that have existed in countries like Denmark, Sweden, Finland, Norway.
This campaign is about a political revolution to transform this country.
Now more than ever, we need our voice in Washington. Now more than ever, we need Sharon Angle in Washington. Go to runsharonangle.com and help us draft Sharon Angle to run for U.S. Senate.
You can call the Conservative Commandos radio show at 856-227-1360. Your opinion counts at 856-227-1360.
This is Congressman Alan West, and you're listening to the Conservative Commando radio show.
I are really enjoying ourselves talking with Pastor Sylvester Bland, and also we spoke with Helen Rowley. We know that you would like to hear rebroadcast of today's show, and also to pass it along to family and friends. You can do so by checking out our websites, www.ccrsnetwork.com and www.ccrshow.com. On mornings at 9 a.m., log on to leadingedgeradionetwork.com. Or at 1 p.m., log on to www.roar, that's R-O-A-R, radio.net. And at 9 p.m., log on to highplainsdailynews.com. Now you can listen to the Conservative Commandos from any phone by calling 832-999-1199. The United Saints of America. Pastor Bland, what exactly is the United Saints of America?
Amen. What it is the the New Testament declaration that people are the church and not the building. It is a ministry where we don't have a religion, we don't have a denomination, but what we do have is verse by verse, line by line Bible teaching, and we know that because of the complacency and the hard-hitting Bible teaching that causes people to get out and affect their neighborhoods is not being taught. People are more into teaching or building kingdoms on earth rather than building kingdom of God. So the United Saints of America is picking up the people who know that they are called of God, know that they need to do something more, they know that something's wrong, but they don't have no place to go because they're only hearing half-truths. And that's where we are, uniting them, pulling them out of their homes and highways and byways, and let's get busy.
There you go. Now your organization, would I exactly define it as a friend to the Democrat, or is it a friend to the Republican?
we are a friend of God, number one, because quite frankly, one party starts a big pile of mess, and the other side of the party pushes it down the hill. But I will say this, is that it at least one party did not kick God to the curb. So I'm leaning more to the Republicans for sure. Yes.
There you go. But I mentioned 5 pillars, and I misspoke there. For those who will be taking up this prayer challenge, and they can do it in City Hall, they can do it outside of City Hall, right?
Yeah, from their homes or City Hall or wherever they feel led. This is a total Holy Spirit-driven grassroots movement. The thing that unites us is the 5 points that is built into the petition.
And what are those 5 basic points, sir?
Okay. First off, I always mention that because we're calling out everybody. Everybody is either going to love you or hate you when you talk about these 5 points. There is no in between. There's no gray areas. So first thing we always ask that everybody make sure you pray. You get prayed up. You ask God to forgive you, of your sins, and ask for mercy and grace to cover you, so that you're under the blood when you pray these things. Because you point a finger, 3 is always coming back. So number 1. When you pray this in your own words, we ask God to help us to stop, not play with or slow it down, but to stop the 60 million plus acts of barbarism by Planned Parenthood. Yes. Number 2, we ask God to help us to stop the radical infiltration of Islam with its hate, murder, and terrorism, and to help us to teach and to stop how it is, to show others how it is totally incompatible. Sharia law is incompatible with our U.S. Constitution. Number 3 is to help us to stop the sexual perversions of all kind that is changing our morals and even the culture and the social traditions of our nation. And with its ever-increasing encroachment on our religious rights with fines and persecutions and now even murder, with the patriots standing up for being bullied by the BLM there in Oregon. Number 4 is to help stop and expose the liberal, progressive, religious left. And I do mean that. Political correctness is just a pile of lies that they said over and over and over again, to where they chant around the polls and drink their drinks and smoke their smoke, and they believe these lies so much in their minds it has become true. That is what a religion is, in my opinion. So to help them to stop the religious left from becoming more and more politically correct with its lust of all kinds, but lust primarily of the flesh and lust of power and greed, and the 3-way marriage that they have between the rich career political class. And there is one. There's thousands of them all over the country, right down to the city hall level, and the Hollywood elitists. These career politicians are married to the Hollywood, and when I say that, I mean broadcast, print, and social media. They're married together, all in the bed with each other. And then the last one, number 5, is the one that grieves me the most, but it must be said. In 2 Timothy, it talks about how we need to make sure that Scripture must be ready in season and out of season to correct and rebuke. And those 2 words don't like to be taught very much anymore, but that's what we're doing. We're rebuking the religious right from becoming politically correct itself with the infiltration of the left, if you will, but with its own greed, false doctrine, complacency, and its bondage to the 501c3 verbal shackles.
Whoa. Now, Pastor, you can talk about a lot of stuff, okay, but don't talk about that 501c3, because that's how I get my money. If I don't have my 501c3, I can't be a church.
That's a lie, number 1. As far as God is the one that ordains life and death, and you are a church the moment you gather one more soul beside you two or more, the Lord is right there in the midst. And see, that's what this political correctness has done. It has redefined what a biblical church is. It has nothing, absolutely nothing, to do with the four walls, your brick and mortar structure. And that is why America is where we are today. They have redefined what Jesus said, and that is to go. As I said earlier, he talks about how we're supposed to be out there in the on the road, to walk with your children on the highways, and how we're to help the widows and the fatherless. The reason that we don't see the widows, we don't see the fatherless, we don't help the homeless, is because we're not in the street. We're locked down inside these buildings, but then these ministries or these churches, these brick and mortar churches, say, well, here's what we do as a church. We siphon off maybe a few dollars here and there. We help, Grandma Joe down the street, and so they think that all we do is throw money at it, and then now we're doing our part because we see what the corporate church is doing, and that's not what God is doing. We're even kicking our parents to the curb. Because they're taking up too much time of our lives, and so the church is totally redefined a lot of things that we're supposed to be doing as a ministry, as a church, as a people.
I got a chance to speak with Franklin Graham down in North Carolina when I was there for Civitas last month, and one of the things he stated was America needs not a revival, but it needs an awakening. Do you believe that too, sir? Yeah, because they're dead. The church is just about dead. Yes, they need revival. Revival means that you're alive in some way. You're getting there's a hope left in you. We need a resurrection more than anything. I agree wholeheartedly. Listen, Pastor Bland, how can people get in contact with you regarding the United Saints of America and about what you plan on doing July 4th in Philadelphia, PA? Amen. Well, it's just like you said. It's you go to our website, which is you got to put the THE in front. It's the United Saints of America.us. That's saints like the saints of God, or when the saints go marching in. SAINTS. The United Saints of America, and .us. Not .org or .com, but .us. And that the Lord gave us that because we are the Department of Morality, and I don't want to confuse that, but that's kind of like what we do. We hold morality back up in high esteem, and that 24-hour number we have is when you go to the website, make sure you go to the Contact Us button. Leave us your information. We have tons of material we love to mail out to people. www.theunitedsaintsofamerica.us, and the 24-hour number is 951-360-3399. Very easy number, 951-360-3399. Amen. Now, if I happen to be a urban minister or a suburban or rural minister, if I happen to be, and I just want to talk with you about what you're doing, are you going to blast my name all over the place so I'm going to have a tough time trying to tell my folks what I'm doing? No. There are people who are just bold soldiers like Stephen, ready to, to stand out in the middle of the public, even while they're throwing stones at his body. He said, Lord, forgive them. They don't know what they do. And that's exactly the same thing that the spirit of our forefathers had. It's the same spirit of not caring about their life in this world, like Dr. Martin Luther King. And that's the kind of spirit of people we're looking for, but we know everybody is not there, so and that's why we know this is for the remnant. It's not for everybody, because there's two Americas. There's two Americas that's playing like we're in the land of the free and the home of the brave, and there's actually the ones who are brave, who are willing to lay their life down in the spirit for salvation. So yes, if you want your name blasted, we can do that too. But if you don't, amen. At this point, we'll take whatever we can get. All soldiers, get your prayer arms together. Again,
Back to back in the foxhole.
When is the July 4th? Where have you all worked out where the July 4th event is going to be?
Yes, it's at Independence Hall there in downtown Philadelphia. At noon, we will be there. We will be broadcasting live on several different formats. We will be videotaping as well, and you can tune in. If you don't have a computer to watch it on internet television, you can tune in on the phone, just like you were saying. And all that phone number information is on our website, and we also are on Facebook as well, the United Saints of America as well. So all information is real easy to get hold of, and I'm the easiest pastor in the whole country to contact. Now, I tell people that I'm a pastor on call 24/7.
Pastor, thank you so much for being with us. Independence Hall, July 4th, everybody. Remember it. Listen, we're coming to you live from the Conservative Commandos Radio Network Studios, WNJC 1360, our flagship station in Philadelphia, PA, and around the world on the internet with American Patriots Broadcasting, TalkStream Live, SHR Media, K98 Talk, iHeartRadio, Red State Talk Radio, and AM/FM 24/7. We shall return right after this.
I'm crazy. I really don't care. That's my prerogative. They say I'm nasty, but
You've heard Paul Delks playing the music on the Your Music Matters morning show. He is also an experienced mortgage loan officer working for U.S. Mortgage Corporation and assists homeowners navigate the reverse mortgage process. If you are finding yourself asking questions whether or not you set aside enough for retirement, Paul can sit down with you, your family, and your financial advisor and discuss how a reverse mortgage may be a valuable resource for your retirement plan. You will be responsible for paying your taxes and insurance, and the reverse mortgage can help with this and other expenses, such as home health care or other untimely bills. Put Paul's 20-plus years of experience to work for you, as choosing the right option for your situation can be critical. Call Paul at U.S. Mortgage Corporation at 877-213-9977. That's 877-213-9977. Or go to seniormatters.info for more information. U.S. Mortgage Corporation is a licensed mortgage banker in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware, and an equal housing lender. NMLS number 3901. U.S. Mortgage Corporation is located at 201 Old Country Road, Suite 140, Melville, New York, 11747. This advertisement applies to first lien mortgages. Paul E. Dilks, NMLS is 485904.
Hi, we're David and Patty Barrickman of Wildflower Ridge Honey, beekeepers for 49 years. I want to tell you about a great survival and a multi-use product called Trail Rations. It is pure honey and a product of the USA. Trail Rations comes in a food-grade 12-ounce, very durable and reusable pouch, ready for immediate use or for long-term storage because honey is the only food that never spoils. Honey is instant energy and goes right straight to your bloodstream. Honey is one of the best all-natural survival foods, natural sweetener right straight from Mother Nature. Honey is also antiviral, fungal, and bacterial. It's your first aid in a pouch. Carry one in your backpack or your bug-out bag. Find us on Facebook, Wildflower Ridge Honey, or call 765-641-9972, 765-641-9972.
What does it take to be the leader in production systems technology? To be the one company that solves production problems at any plant, for any product, and with any technology? It takes a 30-year record of success. It takes total mastery of complex technologies with a history of delivering success every time, without fail. Only one company can claim that high ground in manufacturing line optimization, data automation, and systems integration, and that's Philadelphia Control Systems. In factories worldwide, Philadelphia Control Systems programs, software, and engineering solutions deliver optimal performance and output flow with a record that can't be matched. Any plant, any product, any technology. Philadelphia Control Systems, the leader in production automation since 1982. 800-335-9811. PCS4automation.com. That's PCS, the number 4, automation.com.
The Conservative Commandos radio show is expanding to become the Conservative Commandos Radio Network. We're establishing a front line of conservative radio Commando broadcasters and ironclad patriots to declare war against the madness of liberalism and the Obama administration. Are you tired as I am about the disregard for our Constitution? Do you still have faith in the American dream? Are you looking for sensible, smart radio? If so, listen to the Conservative Commandos Radio Network every weekday from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. on WNJC Radio 1360 a.m. or around the world on the internet at WNJCradio.com. Check out our websites, ConservativeCommandosRadioNetwork.com and CCRN.com for rebroadcasts and network updates. We are the Conservative Commandos Radio Network, where even more newsmakers go to be heard.
I think we should make public colleges and universities tuition-free.
Climate change is directly related to the growth of terrorism.
Remove the federal prohibition on marijuana.
Climate change poses immediate risks to our national security.
I did not email any classified material to anyone. There is no classified material. Certainly well aware of the classification requirements.
We have a lot to learn from democratic socialist governments that have existed in countries like Denmark, Sweden, Finland, Norway.
This campaign is about a political revolution to transform this country.
You know?
Now more than ever, we need our voice in Washington. Now more than ever, we need Sharon Angle in Washington. Go to runsharonangle.com and help us draft Sharon Angle to run for U.S. Senate.
From the East Coast to the West Coast and around the world on the internet. We're coming to you live from the CCRS studios. WNJC 1360. This is the Conservative Commandos radio show with your host, Rick Trader. The Conservative Commandos radio show, where the newsmakers go to be heard. You can call the Conservative Commandos radio show at 856-227-1360. Your opinion counts at 856-227-1360.
This is Congressman Alan West, and you're listening to the Conservative Commando Radio Show.
If you would like to hear rebroadcasts of one of the great American conservative talk radio shows, you can do so by checking us out. Our websites are www.ccrsnetwork.com and www.ccrshow.com. On mornings at 9 a.m., log on to leadingedgeradionetwork.com. Or at 1 p.m., log on to www.roar, that's R-O-A-R, radio.net. And at 9 p.m., log on to highplainsdailynews.com. Now you can listen to the Conservative Commandos from any phone by calling 832-999-1199. We are graced today with a gentleman who is going to turn us all into a millionaire in 30 seconds or less. None other than Mr. Jim Cox himself. He is not only a contributor to Yahoo and AOL Money and TheStreet.com, but he has spent his life as a journalist and senior editor for 2 Pennsylvania newspapers, writing about the financial markets. You can hear him on radio stations around the country. He is also the author of Debt, Deficits, and the Demise of the American Economy. Without further ado, journalist, superstar author, Jeff Cox. Good day. It's a great pleasure to have you on the air with us today.
Thank you so much. How are you all doing today?
Jeff, what stock am I supposed to invest in so that I become a millionaire in 30 seconds?
No, buying stocks at all. Stay out of buying individual stocks. That's part of the premise of the 30-minute millionaire. We want to make this easy for everybody. We think investing's too complicated, or it's at least made out to be too complicated. Millionaire outlines a program, 30 minutes portfolio management, that if you follow what we do, follow the portfolios that we recommend for you, that you can easily retire your nest. You can put money.
Hey, Jeff, sorry to interrupt. This is Rick at the studio. We've got a bad line or something. Can we call you right back?
Yeah, absolutely, sure. Yeah.
All right. Sorry about that, Ken. We like to have the best possible connections that we can. We're going to give Jeff a call back. So, John Forsythe Jr., let's go to a quick break while you make those arrangements there, and we'll bring our guest right back in just as soon as we can. And you are listening to Conservative Commandos with Ken McClinton and Rick Trader, coming to you from the studios of the Conservative Commandos Radio Network at WNJC 1316 Philly, and around the world on the internet with American Patriots Broadcasting, TalkStream Live, SHR Media, K98 Talk, iHeartRadio, AM, FM 24/7, and RedState.com. We got it back? All right, we're going to forego that little break and bring it right back in. And Ken, we do have our guest back with us, and we pick up the conversation.
Terrific. Jeff, thank you so much for being with us today. Listen, you were speaking to the fact that a lot of people think that if I just pick one stock or if I listen to just one guru who happens to be on CNBC, bam, I have everything I need. I'm going to be a multimillionaire. Tell us, is that the truth of the matter?
No, that is definitely not the truth of the matter. In fact, that's just the opposite of the approach that we want people to follow who read the 30-Minute Millionaire. We think that folks are getting too tempted by kind of trying to find that one big stock or that one big play that's going to make them wealthy. This is not a get-rich-quick book. We always want to make that very clear that this is a get-rich-smart book. This is how you spend 30 minutes a week on your investment portfolio. You follow passive investing rules. In other words, you're not constantly buying and selling stocks. You're not moving in and out of positions. You're developing long-term goals, and you're sticking with them. Now, we go on to outline what those long-term goals are, and basically some of the things that we think are going to be influencing the investing climate into the future.
Now, I know a lot of people who are listening just can't get what you just said. It is too complicated. They have been trained. You have to go to a conference, and you have to spend thousands of dollars, and you have to buy software, you have to buy books, and you have to study, and then and only then can you get into that secret place where you discover the truth. And you're saying that if someone works at this 30 minutes a week, they can become a millionaire?
Not only do we say that if you work at it 30 minutes a week, we actually tell people that spending more than 30 minutes a week is a waste of time, because then you're overthinking it. I mean, it's kind of like when you're out on a golf course. I always like to say, I always play my get best golf at the beginning of the season because I'm not constantly overthinking everything. I'm going out, I'm hitting the ball, and I'm just playing my shot where it lies. Now, how that translates to investing is I think people are they get too much inside their own heads. They're constantly walking, they're looking, they're getting advice from their shoe shine guy, and they're getting advice from their cab driver, and they're getting, and everybody's got their own ideas. And the fact of the matter is, what you have to do to succeed in investing is set a goal and devise a plan, and then stick to it, and not be going out and running around and trying to find all of these things that you think are going to make you rich quickly. That's just not the way it's done.
Now, you've been in the financial industry for a very long time as a journalist and probably a private investor yourself. Are these things that you learned also over time, or were you just naturally gifted at investing, and so you got it like that?
No, I mean, this book is a product of, two authors. My co-author, Peter Tanis, who runs a wealth advisory firm in Washington, D.C., basically not just things that we learned, but also mistakes that we made, and certainly mistakes that I made. I mean, as an employee of CNBC, we're not allowed to own individual stocks, but I have in the past before I came to CNBC, and I made mistakes, and part of them one of the big mistakes that I made as an investor was chasing trends, just thinking, oh, gee, here's the next big thing. I'm going to go out and get that, and then trying to make a quick buck off it. And it just doesn't work that way. Look, one of the things that we point out in that book is when you look at guys who manage mutual funds who are out there picking stocks every day and trading in and out of positions, you know how many of those guys beat a basic index? Less than 1 in 5. I mean, like, wow. That's it. Like, you stand less than a 20% chance of just beating a basic index benchmark like the S&P 500 or the Dow. I mean, it's really almost impossible to do. You have to be really, really skilled and really, really lucky to do that. This book takes all of the luck out of investing. It approaches it from a very sound perspective, a basic and a conservative perspective. And what we do, we tell you how much money you need to start out with. There are 3 different scales that we go on: 10,000, 50,000, and 120,000, and we lay it out for you. This is how, if you follow this, you just basically follow our investment portfolios, and we'll show you and give you a pretty good idea of where you're going to be down the road. We actually lay it out in charts.
Listen, because I don't want to. We definitely want you to come back, Jeff, because this is just as simple as it is. It has just become so complex in terms of dealing with the issue of just making wealth. We need to go to a break real quick, but when we come back from the break, I want to talk with you about understanding how to build a well-balanced, risk-mitigated portfolio. And that in itself sounds a very complicated thing. But nonetheless, it's something that people have to consider while they're moving forward in their financial planning. Am I correct on that?
Absolutely, definitely.
Terrific. We are talking with none other than Jeff Cox. He is the author of the 30-Minute Millionaire. And you are listening to the Conservative Commandos radio show live from the Conservative Commandos radio network. And its studios at WNJC 1360 AM. And as well, you listen to us around the world on American Patriots Broadcasting, TalkStream Live, SHR Media, K98 Talk, iHeartRadio, Red State Talk Radio, and AM FM 24/7. When we come back, how to make some money the right way with Jeff Cox.
I really don't care. That's my prerogative. They say I'm nasty, but I...
The Conservative Commandos radio show is expanding to become the Conservative Commandos radio network. We are establishing a front line of conservative radio broadcasters and ironclad patriots to declare war against the madness of liberalism and the Obama administration. Are you tired of the disregard for our Constitution? Do you still have faith in the American dream? Are you looking for sensible, smart radio? If so, listen to the Conservative Commandos radio network every weekday from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Saturdays from 2 to 6 p.m. on WNJC Radio, 1360 on your AM dial, or around the world on the internet at WNJCradio.com. Check out our website, CCRSnetwork.com, for rebroadcasts and network updates. We are the Conservative Commandos Radio Network, where now even more newsmakers go to be heard.
We're David and Patty Barrickman of Wildflower Ridge Honey, beekeepers for 49 years. I want to tell you about a great survival and a multi-use product called Trail Rations. It is pure honey and a product of the USA. Trail Rations comes in a food-grade 12-ounce, very durable and reusable pouch, ready for immediate use or for long-term storage because honey is the only food that never spoils. Honey is instant energy and goes right straight to your bloodstream. Honey is one of the best all-natural survival foods, natural sweetener right straight from Mother Nature. Honey is also antiviral, fungal, and bacterial. It's your first aid in a pouch. Carry one in your backpack or your bug-out bag. Find us on Facebook, Wildflower Ridge Honey, or call 765-641-9972, 765-641-9972.
I think we should make public colleges and universities tuition-free.
Climate change is directly related to the growth of terrorism.
remove the federal prohibition on marijuana.
Climate change poses immediate risks to our national security.
I did not email any classified material to anyone. There is no classified material. Certainly well aware of the classification requirements.
We have a lot to learn from democratic socialist governments that have existed in countries like Denmark, Sweden, Finland, Norway.
This campaign is about a political revolution to transform this country.
Now more than ever, we need our voice in Washington. Now more than ever, we need Sharon Angle in Washington. Go to runsharonangle.com and help us draft Sharon Angle to run for U.S. Senate.
You can call the Conservative Commandos radio show at 856-227-1360. Your opinion counts at 856-227-1360.
This is Congressman Alan West, and you're listening to the Conservative Commando radio show.
Jeff Cox is with us, and I'm quite certain that you want to rebroadcast hearing of this. And in fact, you can do so by checking out our website, www.ccrsnetwork.com and www.ccrshow.com. For mornings at 9 a.m., log on to leadingedgeradionetwork.com, or at 1 p.m., log on to www.warradio.net. And at 9 p.m., log on to highplainsdailynews.com. Now you can listen to the Conservative Commandos from any phone by calling 832-999-1199. Jeff Cox has a great book out along with Peter Tennant. It is the 30-Minute Millionaire, the smart way to achieving financial freedom. When we left, you were talking about building a well-balanced, risk-mitigated portfolio. So I suppose the strategy is I buy one stock, I buy one bond, I buy one treasury, and that's balanced, right?
Yeah, that's it. Oh, now you spoil the whole thing for me.
There goes the book.
I don't have to buy it. Doggone it. I wish you wouldn't have said all that. Jeez. No, we don't even want people to buy stocks. What we want people to do is buy index funds. So an index fund is basically something that tracks an index like the Dow Jones Industrial Average or like the S&P 500 or various other indexes. And when you talk about balance, what we're looking for, we're advising our people to, over the last several years, the Fed's been printing money and keeping interest rates, keeping basically their foot on the throat of the bond market and keeping interest rates down near zero. The best bet has just been in, being in U.S. large cap stocks. I mean, that's been it. What we believe going forward is now that the things are changing as far as policy goes, that you're going to need to diversify out. So what does that mean? That means a mix of companies, a mix of some big companies, some small companies, some medium-sized companies. It means diversifying out of the U.S. into other countries and in other regions. It also means changing your outlook as far as bonds go from just being short, buying long-term bonds to buying maybe bonds that aren't so long-term. And also, Peter and I are both big fans of gold, and we do believe that every investor should have at least a 5% allocation towards gold in their portfolio.
Why gold? Why not just take a risk in the stock market?
Well, there are a whole lot of reasons, and one of them is being, as I mentioned before, the Fed and other central banks around the world are printing money like it's going out of style. It's causing a lot of havoc within currency markets, and historically, the best hedge against all of that has always been gold. Now, also, gold is a very good safe haven. So basically, when the whole world's going crazy, people tend to buy gold just as a store of value. And third is something that I think a lot of investors don't think about all the time. You need to coin a phrase, basically, you need to have something that's zigging when everything else is zagging. In the markets, we call that a non-correlated asset. In other words, it's not moving in the same direction as everything else is. So if the markets are going one way, gold often goes the other way. So it protects you in downtimes. It gives you a little bit of a hedge in your portfolio against unexpected events that come that come your way.
Hey, Jeff, Rick Trader here at the studio. What about silver?
Silver's good too. I mean, silver prices have been pretty volatile. We do kind of like precious metals in general. Silver is a little bit more functional than gold, so it's sometimes a little bit more prone to the vagaries of the market than gold is. But yeah, I mean, metals in general prefer gold, but silver's a perfectly valid hedge as well.
Well, I'll tell you where I'm thinking. Not only right now, silver is $15.39 an ounce, which is about half of what it has been during its historic highs. But at the same time, if you have a certain amount of silver, especially silver coins, I mean, if there is ever some kind of a disaster, like an EMP attack or whatever, that silver coins will always have a value that paper money or other types of things might not have. And your thoughts on that?
I'm with you all the way in terms of your skepticism and cynicism as far as paper money goes. It's been manipulated so bad over the last several years, and I think we're far from seeing the end of that trend. In fact, I believe that if we do see more turmoil in the economy, I think that the Fed is very likely to once again turn on the printing presses. So having a good, solid store of value like gold or silver within your portfolio, I think is an excellent idea, definitely.
Listen, there is so much to talk with you about, Jeff. This could not be the last time we talk with you, especially with your book, The 30-Minute Millionaire.
I'm happy to come back anytime.
Because here's my final question to you. The stock market was up 35 points today. It was down 174 points. I'm losing sleep.
Yeah.
Can I possibly do something financially where I can actually sleep at night and still become a millionaire?
Yeah. Learn to separate noise from news. This sometimes puts me in a difficult situation because I do work for CNBC. I'm the finance editor for CNBC.com, and I'm on TV from time to time as well. But you need to learn sometimes to just turn the noise off, because these daily gyrations in the market really aren't relevant to you as a long-term investor. They're relative to people who trade the market. And people who trade the market are very important. They're the guys out there who are trying to get price discovery, and they're the ones who are keeping the markets active. But in terms of you as a long-term investor, you need to just learn to be able to tune this stuff out. Look at things in a broader spectrum. Don't look at things from a day-to-day spectrum. Look at things from a year-to-year spectrum, and then make your judgments according to that. But these day-to-day gyrations, you've got to put that out of your head.
Jeff, we thank you so much for coming on with us today. How can people get the 30-Minute Millionaire?
It's available in a multitude of places, Barnes & Noble, Amazon. You can actually get it from our publishers, Newsmax.com, Humanix as well. So it's available all over online, and it is in bookstores as well. In fact, we just got notice a little while ago that Barnes & Noble had to order more copies. They ran out of their first run, so we're real happy about that. We think that we're making an impact already in people's lives.
You are, and we thank you so much for coming on the program today. Jeff Cox, financial journalist, editor at CNBC.com, the author, or one of the authors of The 30-Minute Millionaire, Stop Losing Sleep, America. Learn how to do it the right way and still get good results. We thank you so much for listening to us today on the Conservative Commandos radio network with the benevolent dictator, Rick Trader, and the exceptional one, Ken McClinton. Rick?
Ken, I want to thank you for sitting in. As always, as my co-host, I also want to thank our guest today. Our guest today, Helen Riley, Pastor Sylvester Bland, and our most recent guest, Jeff Cox. I want to thank Mr. John Forsythe Jr. for working the boards. But for right now, we're out of time. We got to run. We got to go. Take care. God bless. We'll see you next week on the radio. Have a great weekend, everybody.